millions of Americans all across the United States are deeply concerned with our food supply, and for many reasons. Now, obviously, climate plays a factor, the cost of goods, and the cost of living in certain areas. But another thing that Trump actually addressed today, immigration, and the fact that ICE agents are targeting our farmers. And this is actually causing many people to worry that if all these different workers leave, then what happens to that food? Well, we're going to address that today. Going to talk about what President Trump just said and why this is something that needs to be addressed now, needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but first, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. Look at this right here. It says farmers and seasonal businesses worry as immigration crackdown ramps up. That article was from April 19th, 2025. This person says, and I quote, "There are a lot less local people that want to do this work, so we have to have this program." It says, "Without it, we'll just be out of the industry. We go away." Here's what President Trump is saying. Look at this right here. It says Trump vows changes to immigration crackdown to protect migrant farmers and hotel workers. That is something that President Trump just said today. I want to read you his exact quote from Truth Social. Look at this right here. It says, "Our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good, long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. In many cases, the criminals allowed into our country by the very stupid Biden open borders policy are applying for those jobs. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming." Okay, let's address that. President Trump says that these farmers and people that are working in the hotel and leisure business are stating that the aggressive immigration policy is taking away workers, good, long-time workers, away from them. And who's replacing those workers? Well, potentially people that are criminals here in the United States that came in through President Biden's open border policies. Now, is this true? In some cases, yes. Do we know that criminals are taking over these positions? No. But are we losing people that are, yes, they're probably or potentially in the United States illegally? And you've probably seen on TikTok and Instagram and maybe here on YouTube and news stations all over, people are seeing ICE agents show up to construction sites. They're showing up to farms, driving through the farm, okay, chasing people down, tackling them because they are suspicious. They are concerned that they may be in the United States illegally. Chasing somebody down and tackling them. Yeah, it's concerning. Now, I've talked to a few friends of mine who do own farms in California. Now, what they've said is pretty much what we've known, is people are scared to go into work. And one of my friends said that his farm cannot operate with the amount of people that he has working. It just can't operate. And so there's some people that are there illegally, okay? There are others, though, that are here in the United States legally, but because they are Hispanic, because they've come from another country, even though they have paperwork, they are scared. They're fearful that they are going to be pretty much interrogated and potentially sent back to their home country. So they don't want to go into work. And just think about this for a second. What happens when all those construction workers that, again, may be in the United States illegally? I don't know. But all those construction workers stop putting a roof on the house. Stop framing the house. Don't pour the concrete. Don't do the foundation work. Well, we are going to see the construction industry and real estate, that is going to be crippled. That's what's going to happen. The same thing if farmers stop going into work because they're concerned that ICE may show up and interrogate them. Guess what happens? All those berries don't get picked. It just doesn't get picked. Okay? All the corn, again, it stays there. The watermelons, yep, you're going to stay right there where they sat. That's what's going to happen. We are going to see farmers, okay? They're not going to go into work. Farms are going to shut down. Our food supply could be crippled as a result. This is why some are saying we have to be better prepared. And so when President Trump says, and again, he says right here, in many cases, the criminals allowed into the country by the very stupid Biden open border policies are applying for those jobs. We can't let that happen. Okay, people that are here illegally, or people that are criminals taking over a job from somebody that's been doing it extremely well, we have no issues. That's not good. He says we must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. Now, what are these changes going to look like? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is simple. Okay? And I'm going to read some to you first. Look at this. It says, the president did not specify what changes could be in store to address worker shortages caused by his immigration crackdown. Critics of Trump's mass deportation agenda have long said migrants who tend to provide cheap labor by working for low wages are an essential part of the country's agriculture workforce. Guess what? If you see that, okay, and again, I'm bringing this up because this is exactly what my friend warned of, is when he cannot hire people for a lower wage. It's not that he wants to, it's just they are willing to do the work. But in order to get somebody else in to the farm to do the job that many immigrants are doing, he's going to have to pay them probably additional $5 an hour. Okay? This is going to be concerning because many people are struggling to afford food today. If we see all these migrants leave the country, self-deport, or become deported by the Trump administration, it's going to cause food prices to go up exponentially. That's the concern. I want to read a couple other things to you. Look at this right here. It says about 42% of farm workers in the United States between 2020 and 2022 lacked legal status. That is a huge concern. If we take about 42% of the workers and we send them back to their home countries, what happens to all those open positions? Yeah. It says right here, our farmers are being hurt badly. They have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. That's what President Trump said. Here's the issue. If President Trump opens up this door to allow farmers to use migrant workers, and whether he provides them temporary legal status or something else, I don't know. But here's the thing. This is going to open up the door for many other groups. Okay? Farmers, hotel workers, leisure. Okay? That's just to name a few. Construction is up there. Right? Now, I'm not going to go and name off all different industries that have a high percentage of migrant workers, but you get the idea. It opens up the door. But where do we go from here? I don't know. Right now, we're just waiting for President Trump to tell us exactly what's going to happen. Okay? Look at this right here. Trump said he plans to sign an executive order to address the situation, adding that it will be a common sense approach. Okay. We can't take farmers, take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have. Maybe not. The White House has defended deportations of non-violent migrants who are in the United States unlawfully, arguing their presence in the country is grounds for being deported. Keep in mind, we have protests all over the United States because of what ICE is doing. Okay? They are showing up at Home Depot to look and see if people are there potentially illegally. How do you look and see if somebody is illegally in the United States? Well, according to one person, they will run. If ICE shows up, that person will run. Easiest way to know if somebody's there at the store illegally is they will just run. That is a problem. So we're going to see what happens, but I wanted to share this with you because if President Trump doesn't step in and ICE agents keep going to these farms and arresting and detaining and deporting, okay, tens of thousands of people, this is going to cripple our food supply. That's the issue. So as we get more information on this as to what President Trump is planning and how this is going to impact you and I moving forward, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. But as of today, that is what we know. So thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.